Today I'm going to share with you 3 of the best techniques I've been using lately to enhance my performance and to work with other people to enhance their performance. 2 of these techniques are going to help you achieve the most across your days, primarily by helping you to decide what's most important for you to do in the afternoon. The other technique is going to help you amp up your performance across the whole week. The reason I'm going to start with the 2 in the afternoon is that because it's one of the most common mistakes that I see people making. They can get into the flow way, they can start really doing some solid deep work in the mornings, which is great. By the afternoon, though, there's a familiar problem. They have just gotten into something, it's taken them a little bit longer, but now they've got meetings and other things. And instead of thinking of themselves as a cognitive high performance athlete, they instead continue to want to do everything. Despite the learning and the lessons that I've been trying to teach people about the importance of human flourishing and creative constraints, they really struggle to shut down. And they try to still do everything without reprioritizing what they most need to do. This results in meetings that you participate in that you wish you weren't there for. It means working later than you want to. It means rushing home and not being prepared with a great plan for a fantastic evening, enjoying cooking and being with family and really having time off and starting the next day fully prepared. Instead, it means that you are distracted, feeling like you're never finishing things. People can easily pick up on this, and the next day you're arriving at work already exhausted. So what are these 2 techniques that I've really used to change how I think about my afternoons and how I work with other people to help them truly make the changes that will move them from doing good work in the morning and having very distracted afternoons into truly having amazing days, day after day. And those 2 techniques are: 1, thinking of yourself as a cognitive athlete. You are a cognitive high performance athlete. You're doing amazing work in the morning, probably towards the limits of human peak performance. And in the afternoon, you need to use your best coaching self to help guide you to make sure that you shut down well, that you reprioritize what's necessary for you to do, and that you give yourself the ability to understand these peaks and troughs in your performance and give yourself the ability to recharge enough so that the next day you start really strong. Most people overwork in the afternoons, going and trying to do things through the troughs of their poor performance. And not only does it affect them that day, but the following day, this trough continues, leading to decreased performance. Yes, by using this cognitive athlete mindset, you're going to shrink down the amount of time that you're doing super high performance work. But it means that day after day, you're going to do really high performance work as opposed to starting out strong in the beginning of the week, then getting exhausted very soon and starting each of the following days in a low performance way. The one that you have to tie this to, though, is this value mindset. And this is one that's sometimes hard for people to understand. People who are achievers are often also valuing that they do really hard work. And so it matters to them that they feel that they push themselves. If they feel like they had a few hours and they didn't push themselves in that moment, they feel like, oh, I wasn't really working hard in the same way. But the key here is to understand that your goal is to generate the most amount of value, not just to spend hours in your seat. And that's where you've got to keep pushing through to say, how is it that I generate value? And then as you reprioritize for this low trough of work in the afternoon, you're very focused in what you prioritize yourself doing. And you prioritize performance breaks, and you prioritize shutting down well, and you prioritize preparing yourself well to do the most valuable work tomorrow morning. Yes, that sometimes means putting things aside, right? But those are the 2 that need to go together. If you use only the cognitive high performance athlete approach and you're not focused on the value mindset, it often means that you can work big, intense hours like Superman, flying at the speed of light, but you're going to waste huge amounts of energy flying off in the wrong direction if you don't align your actions with your value framework. So those are the 2 techniques you're going to use in the afternoon to really keep yourself primed as a high performance athlete across the day, focused on aligned actions with generating the most value. The 3rd technique is one that's going to transform how you're able to generate amazing results across a week. And this is the one that I'm calling the success story priming method. Yes, sometimes you have to hear things many times, and yes, sometimes you have to give things your own name in order for it to work. This comes as common advice sometimes, where if you're struggling to know what's the right value, then write a letter to your boss at the beginning of the week and clarify with them so that they'll know that at the end of the week, if you deliver these things, that's going to be important. There are 3 things that you're going to need to do. One is you're going to write your success story, not just a list of goals, but what that means as success for you, for the company, And you're going to do this at the beginning of the week. That'll give you a chance to align your thoughts around how the actions that you were going to take are going to result in success. Second, you're going to write it for somebody. Yes, you might just be writing it for yourself to read it, but imagine writing it so that you shared it with somebody. And if you can, even think about sharing it with somebody early on, especially if somebody can give you guidance around what the right prioritization would be. The reason why it's very helpful to write it for somebody is that one, it'll keep you more succinct and more high level. This will stop you from diving too much into the details, which is necessary to give you the ability to tweak your performance as you're going through the week, but keeps you focused on what the top things are that you need to get done. And the third thing is this concept of priming. By doing it early in the week, you're going to prime your brain to use all of its natural intelligence to help you solve the problems that you've identified as being much more important for you. What you'll also find is that in addition to it being much easier to remember a narrative than a series of goals or worse tasks that you might have clarified, you're going to be able to much more easily integrate all of these different things and approach the end of the week in a much stronger way, having really achieved a lot more value. This aligns beautifully with the value mindset. All right. So today we covered 3 techniques, just introducing them to you. Yes, I understand, but ones that I hope can kickstart you in trying these out. In the afternoons, you're going to be focusing on thinking of yourself as a cognitive high performance athlete, and you're going to be preparing yourself for a really amazing day the next day and using the limited energy you have that day to focus on delivering things that are most important and most valuable. The rest, you're going to be reprioritizing so you can have performance breaks and you can have enough time to recharge to have a really fantastic day the next day. You're going to be using the value mindset to help you with this reprioritization. And then across the whole week, you're going to use the success story priming method to help you begin, focus on what's most important, and then move through a week that's moving you towards great success. All right. There's a lot of more techniques here. We've got a lot of it that's emerging into the Make Time Flow platform, which you're welcome to try and download. We're allowing people to try it out for free in this early adopter cohort. If you're interested in signing up to the newsletter, we'll also be posting some of our most important content there. And then, of course, through Cognitive High Performance Solutions, you can reach out and get some one-on-one coaching from myself or one of the team to help move you forward. All right. Thanks. Keep in flow.